Mitch Connor isn't here. I think that this might have been a drill. I'm going to show you why here. This is USA Today video and article. Some interesting things in here.
Garland police, 2 suspects did open fire on a security officer right around 7 p.m. All this actually took place not inside the center, but actually on a roadway near the center. That Garland ISD officer has been identified as Bruce Joyner. He had non-life-threatening injuries and was released from the hospital. Now, video from News 8 captured the scenes of that chaos, people inside running to get back inside the center. Obviously, a huge police response that only got larger after this shooting. Ambulances were on scene. Garland PD said they're not looking for anyone else at this point. That officer, again, was Bruce Joyner. He was released from an area hospital. The 2 suspects were killed by Garland police. Approximately 200 people were inside the event at the...
Actually, it was 150 last I checked, but he's in front of a green screen. Can you believe it?
Curtis Colwell Center, and there was extra security in place. Garland police knew a few days in advance that there potentially could be a tinderbox here for something to occur. This event it's been dubbed as a Draw the Prophet event, referring to Muhammad, the Prophet.
He's sure having a hard time reading his little fucking script. Now let's take a little pause from the video to go down here. Now, what he just said was that they, you know, basically indicating they had, what do you call it? Almost forewarning, almost. Okay. But right here, almost immediately after suspects drove up to the front of the building and started shooting at a security officer, tweets that seemed to identify them started to surface. Almost immediately after. Scream setup. Let's go back to the video.
For the Nation of Islam, this was seen as a potential tinderbox situation for that when you have this many people at this event, and given the political backlash that's gone on here in Garland. You think back to January in Paris, France, with the Charlie Hebdo shooting, that massacre there of the satirical newspaper, and then a week later here in North Texas, area, a group of Muslims having an event here at Garland ISD's Colwell Center. That drew some ire from folks who wanted to know why Garland ISD would open up this facility to that particular type of event. Garland ISD said they have a non-discrimination policy and this center is open to anybody. So this group scheduled their event for tonight, this Muhammad cartoon contest, as they were dubbing it. And we had a reporter inside as this occurred, Jobin Paniker, who's been in the middle of this since the shots rang out. Jobin joins us on the phone live. Jobin?
David, it's only been like 5 hours, but it felt like a 24-hour day. Right now, I'm at a secure location with detectives. The police department asked anyone who heard or saw something to stay back, so that's why I'm here in this secure location with...
Look at that name there. Jobin Paniker. I've never even heard of somebody with a last name like that, but could this be a freaking fake name, like Paul CIA and CIA Ciancia from the LAX shooting over a year ago? Job in Paniker. His job is in making panic, or I don't know. Anyway.
Detective, now, the photographer and I were outside when shots were fired. We were in the parking lot setting up to get some video. I first heard very faint shots, and seconds later, shots from a high-powered gun. When that happened, officers started yelling at everyone who was outside to get inside. I heard one officer say, "Get down, get down." I heard another officer say, "Get in the effing building." We all ran into the building. SWAT officers ran out. They took us from one room to the main event center.
Okay. Now, if you didn't hear, he just said that they were outside when it happened, setting up their camera equipment and stuff. Okay, so why didn't they try to get any footage of it? I mean, this is a journalist thing, isn't it? That's what they do. I mean, there's people who go over to, you know, war-torn areas to get footage and all that. No, he couldn't do that. He had to go inside because it was probably a drill. Now, there's a couple possibilities for that, but let's continue on, and I'll get to that later.
Here there at the Curtis Colwell Center, There were about 150 of us evacuated, some media, but mostly people who attended that event. Everybody was on their phones as the news started to circulate. It was a SWAT team leader that told us that an officer was hit, that security officer that you're referring to, David, and 2 suspects were identified and killed. And they believed at the time that explosives were found. When that news came out, it got really quiet. A couple of people yelled out, "Was it a Muslim?" I saw 2 women crying, but mostly people on their phones telling family what happened, telling family that they're okay. There was a prayer. People started singing songs like "God Bless America." And this, keep in mind, this is all while we're waiting. We waited for about 2 hours there in that main event center at Curtis Culwell. We would get updates every 30 minutes. At one point, the SWAT team leader told us that we are in a secure location, but that we had to move. We were taken on a bus. I did overhear one officer, as we were all standing around, I did overhear one officer say, and I tweeted this out, he said this was a direct attack. They had this planned. After talking with officers, they say the first couple shots were likely from a handgun from officers, the high-powered shots likely from the SWAT team. We're also hearing, and as David, you said, a security officer is doing okay.
All right, now maybe you heard me kind of in the background there saying, "Did you catch that?" So let's jump back a little bit here.
Scenes.
Now what I'm going to show you, they repeated a few times. Let's go back here.
He had according to Garland police, 2 suspects did open fire
Right here.
on a security officer right around.
Those people are just walking through casually.
Not inside the center, but actually.
The quality of this keeps going down. Let me refresh this. Buffer. Let's watch this again clearly. I'm not worried. I'm just chilling, walking, brushing my hair back. Really. Not to mention, you heard it was probably added, but shots fired there. Okay. Now it's 7 o'clock-ish that this happened, like just before 7 o'clock. So it was sure to be daylight. Okay. It is spring. But if somehow it wasn't added in, the sound of gunshots, they were sure set up for a situation like this. It sure looks like a drill to me, and I'm sorry, but those people would not be walking by like that. Just, no big deal. There's a bunch of cops around and police tape. If this were not a drill or something, they would be ushered away in one way or another, or ushered into cover, would they not? So further down in the article, "This is war," tweeted writer and activist Pamela Geller, president of the American Freedom Defense Initiative. She's very, very pro-Israel, of course. And I'm not saying it's the Jews. Okay, it's not what it's really about. But nonetheless, this is war, huh? Well, you kind of started it. I already laid out the analogy of the kid on the playground who makes fun of the kid just so that they will punch them and then get them in trouble. Now we need vengeance, right? Probably a drill anyways, so I mean that's just a layer of fallacy there. Nonetheless, all these tweets, there's no confirmation that they are actually legitimately them, and the only tweets that have been really identified as them, oh, don't tell me this page is going to give me crap, are on this heavy.com. It's not really an article, it's just a collection of pictures that you can scroll through. There's Nadir Hamid Sufi, and this is not loading too well. Him with a kid. He's such a nice guy, except he shot people, maybe. Because they could have been set up, I mean, there was an informant on the Simpson guy grooming him, and that is in my browser's freezing up. The scribe.com document, which I will leave a link for in the description, of course. And let's see if this will load now. Here's Sufi's business. Kind of funny he'd have a little redheaded, really white-skinned child on there if he was such a gung-ho Muslim. And he tried to sell his car and 2009 or something. This is damning about him. He posts the phrase Eid Mubarak, meaning celebration to the blessed, into August 2013, September 2013. The divine decree related to the believer is always a bounty, even if it is in the form of withholding something that is desired. And it is a blessing, even if it appears to be a trial, and an affliction that has been befallen him is in reality a cure, even though it appears to be a disease. Unfortunately, due to the ignorance of the worshipper and his transgressions, he does not consider anything to be a gift or a blessing or a cure unless he can enjoy it immediately. Can't see the rest of it, I don't think. Well, maybe you can there. Here's, says his page also shows multiple posts featuring Palestinian and anti-police propaganda. That's his Facebook page. Oh, no, they can't display it right now. Well, what do you know? This right here doesn't prove that, but here's him cleaning underneath a carpet. Apparently that's part of being a carpet cleaner. I don't know, I'm not a carpet cleaner. And just other stupid pictures. I mean, there's really not all that much other than this, which is not confirmed to be him. The Twitter account has been suspended. And oh, this one, I remember this picture. Albertani. Yeah, just like al-Baghdadi, right? Fake names? Yeah. Now there's also this Daily Kos article, which, as far as facts laid out, you know, like it's riddled with opinion, and I could give a crap about that. But the two YouTube posts in it are worth watching on Pamela Geller. I haven't had time to go to the other ones. I'm going to come back to the article later and I'm look more into this Pamela Geller woman. I knew little about her before this, but I'm going to leave the links for those two YouTube videos in the description. Where she's the fifth one here. She's talking in like she's in Florida in a bikini and talking anti-Islam shit, and basically calls Obama the Antichrist. From 2007, and this other one, number 4, from 2008, she's in her bedroom in like a kind of robish kind of thing, and like comfy clothes, showing some cleavage, trying to look sexy, and talking about attacks on Israel, and how Israel should fuck them up for it. Now, I've not been able to figure out whether or not the scene of the crime is fake, okay? It is suspicious as hell that the shooters, they get out of the car and shoot at the security officer. And I found a third report where it was a security officer who was standing, and then a patrol car, which he was not in, despite the CBS News report I showed. Nonetheless, with assault rifles and the chance to shoot around 20 shots, they could only manage to hit somebody in the ankle, while they were killed by a pistol, which is not a good, it's only a good short range weapon. It's not very good for long range. And I don't know, maybe, with this FBI informant thing, which I'm going to look more into later. But like I said, here's the I'll leave the link for scribe.com right here. And maybe they got fed blanks there or something, kind of like how FBI informants got fed fake explosives and such. Maybe so, because blanks can hurt people. But, and they were basically set up to be killed. Maybe not. Maybe the whole scene was fake. I did show the the Daily Mail claim of here's the body, and then like from another angle, a picture showed that there was no way that was the body unless they moved it A and B. Well, there's no way that was the body because it did not resemble a body at all. It might have been like a piece of clothing or something that was stretched out in a line. It was way too small to be a body. Anyway, I'm going to keep searching, try to figure out what exactly happened here for sure, get through all the false mistaken reports or whatever, and all the purposely mistaken reports too, and have a good day.